So he quit like Thumbtack. He's like, yeah, because I'm getting these leads from Thumbtack. I'm paying them $500 a week, and yet I'm getting the same customer call my own website. So I'm paying double. I'm paying Thumbtack $500 when I'm getting them organically. And his website actually doesn't have that great metric, so I have no idea how he's getting like.
Okay, so let me explain something. So generally speaking, the way that people operate is it's whatever happened in the last day is their entire reality. So a good example of this, there's a book about this. I forget which one it is, but they talk about when the news starts talking about crime, then they take a poll, and the poll will say, do you think crime has increased or decreased? And let's just say that the last week they talk about some recent things on the news that people have tuned into. People will always think crime will be increasing, even though it's been majorly decreasing, because it's what's the light that's being shed on. So first and foremost, I would bet you if you just went back to him and asked him some questions like, okay, well, tell me this, how many of the Thumbtack that came through Thumbtack came through your site as well? Show me the tracking, because I want to see how many it was. Was it 10%? Was it 50%? Was it 80%? Because if he truly is tracking it, he'll already know that number.
Right.
Okay? In the case, let's just say that it was, like, let's say it was 100% of all Thumbtack leads also went to his website, which makes no sense to me, but whatever. I'll go along with it, okay? In that case, I would say to the guy, like, your options are this. Someone else, a competitor, gets these, or you get these. It's one of two. Which one would you rather have? And at what point does a lead who's called 3 different places or went through 3 different forums, when they know they've talked to 3 different people, or they've taken 3 of the same people, at which point does the lead buy? Like, if you didn't close them on your first lead, are they really your customer? If the first thing came in from Thumbtack and you didn't get the customer, and then they called the second place and you did get them, was it a smart move or not? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People think they own the customers. They don't own anything.
Right.
So my thing is, like, I'm a total domination guy. Like, I want to have everything dominated. So maybe what you do is you come at them this way. What if we create another business that just makes people feel like they're having their shopping experience? And that business that we put together quotes at a premium price. We're a premium brand. Because if you got the customer from HomeAdvisor, and we all know HomeAdvisor is not for premium paying clients. HomeAdvisor is a race to the bottom. Now, if they call and they get on the web, okay, and they've already called through HomeAdvisor, and then you hit them with a premium, maybe there's someone like me that wants to pay for the premium service because I like to have the premium shit. And the cheap stuff isn't what I want. And so now you get someone the best of all these different worlds through utilizing these different web properties. It's a smart way to play business, because you're giving yourself probability-wise a much greater chance to win than if you just have one property and then they move on to your competitor and they scoop your client. So I think the question that I'd go back through a mathematical equation with them. I go, okay, how many leads did HomeAdvisor get? How many did you sell? What was your profit? What was your advertising spend? What was your profit? Here's this one, advertising profit. At the end of all 3 of them, is your business going up or is it going down from profitability? So don't let that stuff mess with you. But it's you got to go back at them and make sure that they're correctly thinking about this stuff. Because a lot of people don't. They go, well, I would have got that anyway. They already called me on my website. It's like, well, why didn't they buy from you on your website then? They're clearly, if you don't do business with me and I pick up the phone, I know they're buying from me. So you're going to lose this customer that you think you had over here, but you never had them. That's logical for you to say back to someone with that type of an objection. Yeah. But the question UK would be, let's just say that I just said that back to you and you're still like, well, yeah, I get it, man, but I don't want to pay for both. And then how would you close me?
That's funny. I was just actually going to push back on you and play devil's advocate and ask, like, because the guy also floated, well, how about I just pay per like net new lead that I didn't get from my system? And that doesn't make sense, because then I'm losing calls.
Say that one more time.
So he pitched, like, how about I pay you like a net new lead? So a lead that comes only from your channel and not from like Thumbtack or my own site. But then I lose out.
No, hold on a second. So that's what your objection or your statement back to me was, how about you just pay for your net lead?
Right. Which I know doesn't, yeah. Okay.
No. That's actually a real thing that would be said. So let's just handle that, okay?
Yeah.
Your answer to this every freaking time is what? You commit him on what he just said because he just committed to you to purchase from you. What I hear you saying, Kay, is this. If I'm able to get you leads that you've never had before, it's a net lead, and we can track it, so I know that I'm being taken care of, and we know you're not getting screwed by getting leads you've already got a handle on. What I hear you saying, Kay, is that we can move together, or we can move forward right now and do business. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
Pretty sure that was what I heard him say. Yeah.
No, I'm you talking to him. Like, so you're objecting to me right now about what you're saying is like, if a business, you're the business owner.
Yeah, okay. Right, okay. But how do you know, like, Dan, that how do you, like, because how can you guarantee to me that producing a net new lead? Because I'm getting leads from Thumbtack. I got 100 calls the other day, 27 net new leads. Like, I have a ton of business is booming, like, why should I buy your leads?
Well, you were actually the one, just so we're clear, that you just said you would only want net new leads, and I just committed you up on what you asked. So that was what my vote would be. Hey, let's work out a deal, whether it's a flat fee or whether it's a per lead fee, and you take all my leads and we don't rock the boat. Okay, that would be my vote. You don't want that, because you want to make sure you're getting a net new leads. You're not double paying. And I understand where you're coming from. What I want to know from you is this: if I could do that and just track it to only net new leads, are you ready to do business right now?
Yeah. Okay. I like that closing line.
Well, it's not even, if you think about what I'm doing here, is everyone needs to understand this, because this is so good for everything in life, is stop Stop getting so into your head about the details. You're worried about how did he track it, because that's your objection, not his. How are we gonna track it? It's like, I don't know. How would you compare all the phone numbers and leads that come in at the end of the month and see which ones are which? Or how about we do it in real time by every time you post one of your leads that comes in, it goes onto a shared spreadsheet that I can't edit, that I can view, and we can see the timestamp of it. Like, it doesn't seem that difficult when everything is tracked, right? But what I'm not gonna do is I'm not gonna get caught up on all the reasons they can't do business with me. I'm gonna close him or her right then and there when they ask me a buying question, like you just asked me, which was basically, hey, if we could do it with just net leads, I'd probably be more interested. And I'm gonna then go back and go, okay, so what I hear you saying is, if I can do that, we're ready to move forward right now, correct? And then you're either gonna say yay or nay. And now we're in closing, because here's the deal. I'm not leaving a phone call, I'm not leaving the situation without an ink deal. Like, I'm just gonna keep going, because my alternative is go home and think about it and come back with a witty response. Well, I'd rather have, even if my net leads are 60% of what my site's producing, I'd rather get the deal inked, because guess what? And I'm not even telling this, like, hey, bro, it's not really the way I work, but I want to do business with you. But just know, if someone else comes along that wants to have all these leads, I'll give you first right of refusal, but I'm selling the site to someone else. But for now, don't get mad at your money.
Yeah, no. I think for me, like, my personal objection was, like, from my own personal business standpoint, it doesn't make sense to only give him and get paid for net new leads. Let's say, like, let's take your example, 60%. So I'm producing 10 and he's only paying me for 6. I'm losing money on 4, right?
No, you're not. You're gaining money on 6.
Okay.
You don't have any business right now. How can you're at 0 right now. Everything you get over 0 until you replace it with a 100% client, like a 10 for 10 client, you're not losing, you're gaining. So you need to switch your mindset on that, because that's jacking you up a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Yeah, I needed to hear that. I guess I'm just push back here for the sake of it, and it's going through my mind. So it's a site that's not ranked yet. So I was just running Google Ads, and so I don't want